Face mask denialism. Two common arguments in opposition. I don't wear a mask because carbon dioxide and oxygen can't get through. I don't wear a mask because the pores are too big to stop bacteria and viruses. Too big to pass through, yet these pass through easily? They are indeed two very contradicting arguments, and neither are true. Well, bacteria can pass through a mask, so it won't stop you catching the virus. But if you are to cough, then the mask drastically reduces the amount of liquid spray you send out when you cough. So it doesn't stop you catching the virus, it stops you spreading it. Basically, you're not protecting yourself from others, you're protecting others from you, which is why I recommend wearing the mask. Also, there are hundreds of videos on the internet now of people doing blood oxygen tests while wearing the mask, and the mask makes zero difference to the oxygen levels in their blood, meaning that they are absolutely fine to wear the masks.
Fell in love with a girl. I fell in love once and almost completely. She's in love with the world, but sometimes these feelings can be so misleading. She turns and says, "Are you alright?" I said, "I must be fine, cause my heart's still beating. Come and kiss me by the riverside." Yeah, Bobby said it's fine, he don't consider it cheating now. Red herring.
How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to another subreddit video. Today we are going to be looking at vaxxhappened again. I wasn't going to do any more videos on this for a while because, quite frankly, I'm bored of it, and I did that vaccines are safe video talking about vaccines, so I felt there wasn't much more to talk about. But then last week in Bournemouth, in my country, this happened. I feel like it's a subject that I need to talk about again. Now, the more astute of you out there watching might have noticed that I have a different microphone now. It's been a while, it's been a few months of saving, and I finally have my lovely new microphone, so my voice should be nice and crisp now. So here's to hoping I have it set up right and I sound better than I did on my last microphone. Someone in my audience who is much smarter than me suggested using a code word for the current plague that afflicts us. They said that that might avoid demonetization and that it would help play to the algorithm because we're not talking about this controversial subject which seems to get demonetized all the time. So I have come up with the perfect code word to use instead of this current virus that is afflicting us. So if you hear these words, "Hold cops accountable 19, then you'll know that I'm talking about the virus. That's my code word, everybody. Hold cops accountable 19. Now let's get into the video. This was a bit of a long intro. I'm sorry. Who is the real threat? Non-vaccinated, not infected, cannot infect others. Vaccinated with virus. Infected, can infect others. Sir, I think you have this the completely wrong way round. Non-vaccinated can get infected and can spread that virus to other people than are non-vaccinated. Vaccinated people can no longer get infected and thus cannot spread the infection to other people, especially those who are vaccinated. Thank you for watching, that's the end of the video. No, I wish that was the end of the video. Just wear the mask. Time passes. Just let the government track your location. Time passes. Just let them inject you. Time passes. Just give them your guns. Time passes. Just get in the boxcar. This man is really comparing wearing a mask to help reduce the spread of a pandemic to the Holocaust. I really dislike people that want to go with comparisons like this because you clearly have no clue how the Holocaust happened. And I'm gonna be real with you right here. Hitler definitely did not use a pandemic to start this kind of thing. Your location is already being tracked. You keep a phone in your pocket, you are already having your location tracked by Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook. Any social media you have installed is already tracking your location. Not to mention your cell service, whoever provides your cell. Everyone is tracking your location already, so this one is null and void. Just let them inject you as null and void because of all of the diseases that used to exist and have now been eradicated. And you know what? If they take away your guns, good, because that is less people that you will be shooting. Just look at every other country. Vaccines kill more people than hold cops accountable 19. Pass it on. Sorry, I didn't realize that in the last couple of months, vaccines had killed 500,000 people. I didn't realize vaccines were that dangerous. Wow, you lost a child to SIDS 10 days after vaccinations, and now you have autistic children? Definitely sounds like you carry a gene that causes vaccines to harm your kids. You need to do more research. Ask for the actual 10-page vaccine insert, not the information sheet. It says clearly a side effect can be death, and another one can be brain damage, aka autism. Wow, woman, wake up! I'm sorry, I can't have sympathy for you or your children when you keep repeatedly putting them into what is harming them. Well, first of all, I'm glad they are finally acknowledging that genes might be somewhat responsible for autism. You don't have genes that make you more susceptible to vaccines, though. That doesn't exist. You do have genes that will cause autism, on the other hand. As for this 10-page vaccine insert, I have already done a video doing extensive research into both pro-vax and anti-vax statements, and we found next to no proof, if no proof, that vaccines cause autism, brain damage, or death. Now you might say, oh, but the CDC lists it as a possible side effect. Well, yes, but that is because that is the lowest health rating the CDC is allowed to give. You know what also has that same health rating? Coffee, Coca-Cola, bananas, literally anything. So if you are scared that vaccines could be harming you, then I'm afraid that means you can no longer eat food, you can no longer breathe water, you can no longer come into contact with sunlight, because all of that has these possible risks. So I'm sorry, but you now have to stay in a Zorb. Oh, but also sorry, the Zorb is dangerous. That may also cause death. How to detox from vaccines. Increased fruit and veggies, vitamin C to bowel tolerance, omega-3, dandelion roots, herbs and homeopathy, garlic, massage and chiropractic, extra water intake, and also this detox bath. Yes, you are going to be cured of all vaccine ailments from having some baking soda. I don't think these people know what vaccines are. That is the thing. These people read from weird, bizarre sources that vaccines have loads of deadly chemicals in them, and then without fact checking, assume that that page they read was already correct, and then when anybody else asks for fact checks, they just link them that page, which also hasn't fact checked, and it's this endless cycle of nobody gets any credible sources or any actual research done, which is why in my other video I was adamant on finding genuine researches. I went to actual pages for research of medical safety, and it proved that vaccines have no risk. You are probably more likely to win the lottery than you are to get injured by vaccines. I need information. How to detox from TDAP vaccine. Please help. It's required in my work. It is like trying to unboil an egg. In my opinion, no job is worth possible years of poor health or chronic disorder. I wouldn't do it ever. Get a new job if you can. Absolutely, no job in the world. This is such a circle jerk of people saying that no job is worth being protected against a virus. Oh, I'm sorry, this vaccine which might give me an achy arm for a couple of hours and possibly give me a headache or something is not worth the protection against polio, which could cripple me for life, or measles, which could potentially kill my child. You people really need to sort out your priorities. We've been vaccinating against the flu for almost 80 years, and the flu is still around, still killing people. So what's the sense in not having life return to normal until there's a hold cops accountable 19 vaccine? Well, it's because vaccines have absolutely nothing to do with preventing anything or keeping you healthy, and everything to do with your blind compliance in the profit-driven world of eugenics. They just want you to obey and get the vaccine every year. It's like a pledge of allegiance to the slave masters, where you sacrifice yourself to the altar of Big Pharma every year, even though the vaccine doesn't work, makes you sick, and kills a large number of people each year. The new normal is about creating more sick people under government and Big Pharma mind control. I find these posts so hard to take seriously because they are so insane. First of all, let me just get a list up of every single disease that has been eradicated by vaccines. 14 diseases that you almost forgot about thanks to vaccines. Polio is now gone because of vaccines. Tetanus is now gone because of vaccines. Influenza is almost entirely gone from vaccines. Yes, people still get flu even though they take flu shots, but that's because the flu mutates and changes every single year. You have hundreds of different flu strains, so it's more or less a gamble of getting vaccinated against one and then catching a different one. That's different. Cold and the flu have no cures because they change. Every time you catch it, it mutates. Hepatitis B, gone because of vaccines. Hepatitis A, gone because of vaccines. Rubella, gone because of vaccines. Hib, gone because of vaccines. Measles, gone because of vaccines. Whooping cough, gone because of vaccines. Pneumococcal disease, gone because of vaccines. Rotavirus, gone because of vaccines. Mumps, gone because of vaccines. Chickenpox, can be gone because of vaccines. Some people choose to get them anyway. Diphtheria, gone because of vaccines. The flu and colds are not stopped by vaccines because of exactly how it is they work. Hold cops accountable 19 is technically a flu, but it is a specific strain of flu that when a vaccine is produced can make everybody immune to it. Yes, vaccines will make a difference, and yes, we should be concerned about making a vaccine for it before another 500,000 people die. Or did you forget about the Spanish flu as well, after the amount of people that infected and killed? No one is dying from Hold Cops Accountable 19. They're dying from vaccines, government lies, Ritalin, feminism, white female liberal logic, and Zionism. That's a new one on me. I did not realize that feminism is a government construct to keep us dumbed down. There you go. And Ritalin? What, so you would rather that psychopaths and people with ADHD and people with debilitating mental disorders that can make them erratic or violent, you would rather that they just stayed erratic and violent? Okay, I see where your priorities lie. And I also see why you were clearly not in medical science. I don't believe this invisible bug spreads so easily. It's just something they say to scare us and have everyone believing they could catch it easily. I guess it's going to be hard to understand each other. When I say I don't trust credible people, credible does not mean reliable to me. That's exactly what credible means. That is the definition of credible. And I say that from personal experience. Also, I don't feel healthy. I am healthy. What? First of all, it's not invisible. We clearly have the technology and capability to see it. Second of all, we are past the age of pestilence and believing that all viruses are spread through smell. We know what viruses are and we know what bacteria is because we have the technology to see it. Just because you can't see it without a tool because it's that tiny doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Next, you'll be saying that there are no cells in your body because I can't see them. Why I'm so selfish. Hashtag no mask, hashtag no vaccines. Hashtag vaccinated my children. Son suffered irreparable harm. Now an adult who can't speak and needs 24/7 care for life. Risk outweighed the benefit. I didn't know. Gov knows this happens. They don't care. Wake up. Hoax. Okay, well, so your son, who suffered irreparable harm and is now an adult who can't speak, would have ended up like this regardless of whether you vaccinated him or not, because it was already a gene and it was already a part of his development before he was vaccinated. There is scientific proof that supports this, and we looked at proof that supports this in my Vaccines Are Safe video, because you're not a doctor and you don't understand how these disabilities actually develop, but you can easily research it. Educate yourselves before complaining that it's the government's fault. Pharmacy and other farm words have their root in Greek word for sorcery and poisoner. During the Civil War, mercury used to be injected into people's groins as a cure for STDs, and today we have horse urine in one particular med. Research is a must, especially with side effects. Okay, but like, what vaccines are you talking about? I know you're saying to do a little more research, but your statement is kind of vague. There's vaccines that save lives, and some can't have due to allergies. This is a strong statement to have, and the ones who hear you will run with it. Yeah, so first of all, he's given no proof of which vaccines he's talking about. Second of all, mercury has been used in medication in the past, and it was discovered that mercury is poisonous and that, you know, high amounts of mercury can kill somebody, which is why mercury is rarely used in medicine, though not never, and in very tiny amounts. And I don't even know what he's talking about with this horse urine one. I cannot even, like, what? And the Greek thing, Greek words for sorcery. Are you saying that Greek people couldn't talk because they would accidentally cast magical spells? It's a language, it's not magic. All Greek people, all ancient Greek people and modern Greek people actually have to talk in sign language, because if they speak out loud, they accidentally cast spells. Also, by the way, I'm highly aware, but this person clearly isn't. It's not Greek, it's Latin. They use Latin terms, not Greek. But even still, Latin was a used language. It wasn't just used for magic. You absolute insane person. Did you know what's in vaccines? Please do your research. Thank you, somebody with a brain. Ditto, hun. I nearly lost my baby within a few hours of having vaccines. It was the worst thing ever. I'm still paying the price now. People make me laugh while believing what the government tell them, like they are loved by them and that. Haha. If vaccines was okay, they wouldn't have a payout. I checked this website, this vaccinedamaged.org. Hang on. Vaccinedamaged.org. Right, I'm gonna send a screenshot of this. The website doesn't exist. It's not a real website. it doesn't exist. It's not there. There is no vaccinedamage.org. Oh. And why? Why would the government be deliberately damaging you? Why would the government be deliberately causing autism? What do they have to gain from that? And on top of that, if the government is paying out billions, like these people are saying, to support people that are vaccine damaged, that means the government has even less to gain from it. If they are paying out billions, they are losing money from supporting vaccines. Your entire argument has no grounds. You don't have any logic to support what you're saying. You didn't think anything you said through. Here we have a picture of agenda, apparently. So this is what they think the agenda for vaccines is. To enslave humanity under the authority of the Antichrist. If anybody I have ever seen was the Antichrist, it was Donald Trump. And he was definitely anti-vax for a good long while, if he isn't still anti-vax. So just, they've even got the Illuminati in there. They... Bust out your tinfoil hats, boys, because the Illuminati and the Antichrist is taking over by 2030. Oh man, I'm so tired. This makes me actually so tired. The last picture I have is actually one that I personally found in the wild. And it's one of those people doing the whole, remember that onions can save us from infections. If you eat onions, you'll be immune to the diseases and whatever. And my favorite part, although I have covered it up for the sake of putting it in Reddit because they don't like that kind of thing, is the URL and the website that she linked to was exactly the same as her Twitter username. So the source she cited is herself. If that doesn't tell you everything that you need to know about anti-vaxxers, then I don't know what will. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Now, this video almost guaranteed is going to be demonetized, and at this point, I am embracing that. I am not going to bow down and roll into what YouTube and the algorithm wants me to make. I am going to make the content I want to make because I think it should be made. If you want to support me in making content that YouTube won't support me making, share my channel to your friends because it's the only way people are going to see my channel, and consider supporting my Patreon because that will help me make content in the future. I also stream on Twitch every Thursday and Saturday at 8 PM UK time, so maybe drop by over there because Twitch are not going to be demonetizing me for talking about Hold Cops Accountable 19 and Black Lives Matter. Other than that, thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.